Now, I just opened up my Bible after reading in some other areas to the book of Matthew, which is New Testament. This is a Gospel of Matthew. I'm going to read chapter 23. Now, keep in mind here, I'm entering right into the middle of a story. This is well after Jesus was born, and he's right involved in his ministry here. And he's talking. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples. Let me drink a little H2O here. You know, usually when you buy water in the grocery stores and other places, if you search, you read the labels on them. If you can, buy the ones that say spring water on it, not the ones that's purified. Although there probably ain't nothing wrong with that, but this spring water, there's a difference there. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples. This is after he was doing a bunch of stuff. The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Leadership. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. In other words, they give you they tell the people the commandments of God. All right, and this is what you're supposed to do, but they don't do it. You understand? That's like a government official saying, I'm going to tell you this law, this law, this law. You follow that, but they break the law. That's what's happening in Washington. Barack Obama did it. He broke the law. The Attorney General, his attorney, the FBI, the CIA, all them people, they broke the law. But they were at the top. There was nobody to bring charges against them. They got free. They were scot-free. They were not punished for any of that. You know what? Their punishment is coming, even for Hillary. It's coming. It's going to be there. Let me read that again. The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat in places of leadership. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, if they're reading and telling you about the commandments of God, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. They don't follow what's right. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves would not move them with one of their fingers. Taxes, laws, all that stuff that Trump is trying to change right now. Like they have these committees and all this other stuff, trying to control the water on your property and all this crap. He says it right here. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders. They take your stuff. They make laws that restrict everything. When you die, they tax you so heavy that the children can't pay the taxes on their farms and stuff, and they got to sell them for peanuts. They take your stuff. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries. I don't know what that means. and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feast, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. Now Jesus was talking to the people. Jesus was talking to his disciples, okay? Not to the leaders in the Jewish towns there. All of them were evil. That's what's happening here. All the Democrat Party, the liberals, the socialists, the Germans, the communists, it's all evil. There's only a few of us who are not. But we have God on our side, and he is going to change it one day. He says, be not called Rabbi. Right here, he's actually talking about, let's say, a Catholic who calls the Pope Father. Jesus says, don't call any man on earth Father, because there's only one. That's our Father in heaven. His name is Jesus. And call no man your father upon the earth. Here it is in the very next verse. And I said it before I got to it. You see, I've read this book enough times where all this stuff is in. And God, I've said many times, will bring it to your remembrance at the proper time. You just saw it happen right now. I didn't look at this verse yet, I quoted it. He brings it to your remembrance, but you have to put it in there. You got to read it, or you got to hear it like you're hearing me right now. And call no man your father upon the earth. In other words, you don't say no father to the priest and the Holy Father, the Pope. That's all evil. That's all evil spirits, all right? For one is your Father, which is in heaven, not on earth. There's no religious father here on earth. God is our Father, and he resides in heaven. Although by his Spirit and his life, I got the hiccups, I got pains. God is here with you. Know ye not that your body is the temple of the living God? I actually think that God's keeping me alive so I can sit here and do this stuff and take care of my wife, who needs me real bad right now. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. If someone's doing for you, he's the best. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Abased means to be cut down. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses. And for a pretense make long prayer. You ever hear a windy preacher standing out there at a football field or someplace saying this ridiculous prayer for 10 minutes, saying crap? You know, a good prayer is, "Hi God, how you doing today? It's me." And then you go in and you tell them the truth. That's a prayer. You don't stand in front of people and make these big, long, windy prayers. Those are hypocrites, and there's a lot of them. Therefore, ye shall receive the greater damnation. If you are like that, and when judgment comes and you're living like that, these people in leadership today, they're going to get the greater damnation. In other words, they get destroyed forever. They don't live happily ever after with God. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Now, I'm not going to claim to understand all this stuff and be able to explain it. I have my own interpretation of that from what I think God is saying to me. When it gets to you, He'll talk to you about it. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, Whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing. But whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing. But whosoever sweareth by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifieth the gift? Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar sweareth by it, and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by the temple sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that shall swear by heaven sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye pay tithe of mint, and anise, and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. In other words, they were sharing the wrong stuff. They were buying people off, etc., and not being kind and the right way of living. They were living the wrong way. I understand this, but I don't want to take too much time trying to explain it. Stick it in your head right now, that's all. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. No, you're real picky over here over this little matter and this great big matter you don't take care of. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. They show you something nice, but they hide all the crap that's inside. The evil. They try to camouflage their evil. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Talking about people. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto withered sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men. Look at me, I'm a holy preacher, I'm a holy priest, etc. And what were they in secret? They were child molesters, adulterers, rapers, drunk, drugs. They do all that stuff. And the public pays them for it. But within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. That's just what happens. You know who was a real hypocrite? And he just, in my opinion, Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey, he didn't do anything good for that state. He damn sure wouldn't have done anything good for the country if he was elected president. He's one of these. I believe him to be the hypocrite. He was like a bull in a china closet. Had nothing good in mind. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of prophets. No, we wouldn't have done all that bad stuff. That's a lie. Wherefore, ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. You see, they were part of it. The same thing. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? They cannot. You must be born again by the renewing of your mind so you can absorb the Word of God and obey His commandments and know His statutes. Understand the statutes. Look that word up. Oh man. I'm gonna knock this off. I'm right in the middle of chapter 23 of Matthew, but I'm gonna stop this right now because it's just a couple of minutes before midnight. I want to take a little bit of time to pray for myself and my wife and my daughter and her husband, my son-in-law, and the rest of my extended family. I got a lot of sons and daughters. I'm going to take a little time to pray for them right now. And if you can pray, there's a woman named Carol, an older lady, about 84. She just broke the bones up in the hip and leg area. I'm not sure which side. But she's an extended family member of my son-in-law. And she's hurting right now. She could use some comfort from God. I'm going to pray for her. Perhaps you can also. Good night. I'll be back.